shit. Hello, Stevie Lynn here, and welcome to Food and Thoughts, where I make food and I talk about food. I hope if you're really into just talking about food, like food is a special interest, I hope this channel finds you. And if it has, don't forget to subscribe so that I can find you again, especially if you hit that little bell, because then it will go after you. It will seek you. First of all, it's freaking cold here. It's so freaking cold in North Carolina. I don't know what's up. It's like, it's in the 60s, but I'm in the trees. So there's not a lot of sun coming down, and it's just so cold. I've been cold for days. I haven't been wanting to do anything. It's sunny, but it's still cold. It's freaking cold. And you know what else I learned? You know how we say frickin' as a euphemism for that other word? Is it a euphemism? Well, we say frickin' in order to avoid offending people. But did you know about the history of frickin'? I'm just saying it has a lot to do with the other word, and it has a lot to do with your hand. That's all I'm saying. Although, I mean, I don't think either things are a problem. But, I mean, some people do. And frickin' is not the solution. But YouTube doesn't mind, so I'm just going to frick away. Today we're going to be making Cincy style chili. It's really like a chili spaghetti. But I'm making the vegetarian version today, and I've been working on this recipe for frickin' years. Frickin' years. Doing a lot of frickin' with it. And it's perfect. It's perfect. It's ready to go. It is fully developed. So I can't wait for you to try it. Alright, so story time. My husband and I met in New Mexico 20 years ago. We got married and lived off-grid in the Manzano Mountains for 10 years. Many of you know that New Mexico is also known as the Land of Enchantment. I think because it's an acquired taste, but once acquired, it truly becomes part of your DNA. New Mexico has a stark, structural, and temperamental beauty, the kind of beauty that is hard to understand at first because it breaks all beauty standards. But once you attempt to size her up, you realize you can't. She is unfathomable and too wild to be constrained by any standard or judgment. By her own nature, she can't submit to the cause of her own oppression, such as a beauty standard designed to simplify, make manageable, and therefore make possessible. New Mexico defies it all, and in doing so, she frees beauty from the bounds of the brain and returns it to the vastness of the heart, where it can flourish unexamined and unchecked. And once she gets into your heart, you stop questioning whether something is beautiful or not, and you begin to see that it's all beautiful. This is why I think New Mexico is such a holy place. I will be talking more about New Mexico later next week because we will be going to my daughter's graduation from grad school. Yay! In fact, we'll be driving there from North Carolina, and we plan to eat our way through the dog-friendly South, then Texas, and New Mexico. But here I am talking about New Mexico when I'm supposed to be talking about Cincinnati chili. But there's just one more thing about New Mexico I forgot to mention. that will help me segue to Ohio, and that is chili. Into part of New Mexico's enchantment is because people are addicted to the endorphins that come with eating hot food, is that if you were to try a Carolina Reaper, you'd probably have it in a hot sauce, which really gets attenuated by other ingredients and becomes more mild. And you would have just a little bit, just a drop of that hot sauce that is diluted with so many other things. Or you might just tap it on your tongue. That's about what you would do. And then there would be like a hole in your tongue. But with New Mexico green chili, because it's treated like a vegetable, we wallow our tongues in it. We eat it by the spoonful. So it's hot. And I think this actually figures into part of New Mexico's enchantment, is because people are addicted to the endorphins that come with eating hot food. The heat just, it triggers the endorphins, and it makes you happy. And I think you literally become addicted to the place that serves you such delicious pain. When me and my husband used to travel away from New Mexico, which we did frequently, our thing was the minute we got back, even if it was midnight, we had to get our green chili fix. We were fiends, we were like fiends of a feather. So when we moved to Ohio, we didn't have that anymore. We had to come up with something that we rushed to whenever we traveled outside of Ohio. Something we had to have. And for a while, it was Cincinnati chili, like the original stuff with the meat. I really like those warm spices, like the sweet spices. I love pasta, and I like cheese. But, so for a while, maybe a couple trips, we were like, we have to go back and get our Cincy chili. But then we went vegan. And that was just no longer an option. We really had nothing to come back to, sadly. Okay, so we're gonna make some chili. Now, I forgot to film a couple of ingredients going into the pot because while I was making it, my dad called, and so we had to talk. And I love talking to my dad, and I just forgot to put a few things in. But we all know what it looks like to put things in a pot. You're not missing out on much, and the recipe will be in the description box below, so it's all there for you. Let's get cooking. So you don't have to soak your beans. It doesn't really make much of a difference. It saves you about 20% of the time it takes to cook them. So if you want to save that 20%, soak them overnight. But it doesn't really help you on the same day. You might as well just cook it a little longer. The shallot is actually not part of the recipe. I'm only including it because I had an extra one. I added both olive oil and ghee to the onions to saute the onions with, but you can use whatever oil you're comfortable with. And that spice mix that I just added is my own. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't know why I'm doing that. It feels good. It's like yoga for the face. Ah, feels so good. Ah. I'm not drunk, I swear. People ask me that on my videos all the time. They're like, "Are you drunk?" Like, no, I'm not drunk. Okay, I gotta go edit some shit.